Hello everyone, and welcome to the analysis of the European Grand Prix, which was of course the last league race. So jumping straight in with qualifying comparison, and once again me and my teammate we're comparing here. See the times at the bottom, they're only 2/10 apart. Through the first couple of sectors we are absolutely bang on each other. So let's see then. Coming into the first corner, we need to nail the apex nicely. It's very important to note here we both got it virtually the same time. We're almost identical there, only just anything is ever so slightly ahead, but it is extremely slight. As we come into this corner now, we'll just stop on the apex here, and you can see only just ever so slightly ahead on the R on the left hand side there. Come out the corner, but it's important to get a good exit here, which I've managed to do. Got the throttle down very early, got DRS open using a little bit of curves for the run to the end of the first sector, and I believe I'm going to be up at the end of this sector. Yes, I am indeed. There we go. That's what it looks like. 800s up, so not much at all, but it's a little bit. It's enough. Braking right down then. Once again, Ownage reaches the apex. But at the same time as me there, it looks like he's already earned it back in the braking zone for that last corner. As we now come through this next corner, once again, you can see we're almost there, identically, really, at the apex at the same time. So Ownage has pretty much gained back all of the time. It's been a fantastic couple of corners, really, from him. So we now come down the very long back straight then. DRS is wide open. I believe Ownage has got a longer gear ratio than me. You hear that I'm on the rev limiter, but Ownage isn't quite on it yet, so he's gone for longer gears, so that's certainly helping gain on me. And there you can see Ownage is ever so slightly ahead of me on the apex there, but ever so slight, it really is. As we now come for the exit of the corner, then it's full throttle with a little bit of DRS between the corners, braking down to second gear, trying to hold the apex nicely. As looks like Ownage is anything slightly ahead of me, but I believe I got a better exit. I'm running more speed than him. So let's see, then DRS is wide open. We've used all of our curves for the end of the second sector rather. I'm 7,000ths up, which is absolutely nothing you saw there in the freeze frame. Right down to first gear. This is unfortunately where I made my mistake in quality there. You see a little bit of oversteer, only a little bit, but if you look here, we freeze now. That's how much it is already. That's a 1/10.5 I worked it out, so I've already lost a 1/10.5 with that little mistake. And unfortunately I lose the other 1/2 in the run down to this next corner with the less speed. There we go, look at the shadow on the floor. That's what 2/10 looks like. Unfortunately I do manage to nail this final corner just as good as Ownage though. Braking very late then. Profiling our apex is nicely getting hard on the throttle on the exit. I stay on the curb, Ownage bounces over it. As we go for the run to line now, and there we go, that's what 2/10 of a second looks like as we cross the line. So as I said, that was all lost in that one mistake that I did there on the exit, unfortunately. But there we go, as we now move on to the race analysis, or race history rather. You can see there I am the bright yellow line, and clearly there I dropped off the pace massively after my first pit stop, after getting taken out the first corner of course. And you can see that I did more or less maintain the pace of the guys ahead until we pitted on about lap 5 or so. And then looks like I caught up with quite a few people, but overall, compare the guys in the lead, who was Ownage for most of the race, and then it was Mike. Overall, I do actually gain on the leaders, despite all the overtaking did, despite all the mistakes. In the end, you can see there, I actually am a lot closer to the leaders than when I started the race. So overall, I did gain throughout the race, surprisingly, despite all my mistakes. So if I didn't make any mistakes, I think I could have won that race, to be honest. But there we go, it is what it is. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.